Alright guys, okay, so I'm back. I'm back to do part 2 of my test with Skytrak and the GSPro in regards to the accuracy with chips and going, straight or offline chips. A couple things that I did since the first video, which I posted. And that was I took my Skytrak off of my slider. I just set it on the ground and then I adjusted the height so that the height became a little more accurate in regards to what they recommend with Skytrak. So utilizing this graph and setup, I got my Skytrak now so that the laser dot is the 10.5 to 11.5 from the Skytrak, which is what they recommend. And I also noticed too, when I'm doing small chips, you almost want to be right on the dot or as close to it as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some chips, and then we're going to jump over and do some with GSPro, and just look at the outcome. I also kind of noticed that the club that you're utilizing, it does kind of make a difference, especially with little short chips. And I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to duplicate that, and more so maybe in GSPro that I noticed that. Alright, so I know a lot of people don't know or want to change the club or whatever, but I kind of do. But now I'll show you maybe how that could also be affecting the shot a little bit. So first off, Skytrak setup. Gonna basically just hit some little chips here, and I'm just gonna be using my little 54 here, right? And let's just see what we get, and then we'll jump into GSPro. So now you can also gauge a little bit. So my little ramp here that I use for putting, because I'm a little elevated, but anytime my ball kind of lands around in this area off of hitting, I'm thinking it should be pretty straight, and you can kind of see based off of that particular stroke. And you can see that a little bit in my hitting area, at least how it lands or where the ball lands. So I'll even try to stay out the way where you can maybe see that too. Right? Land pretty good, land pretty straight, picked up pretty straight there. Give it, kind of landed there, kicked a little bit, but going pretty good, right? Looking at the degree of the angle and stuff. So go one more here and we'll jump over to GSPro. You can see that one landed pretty good off to the right. Come back. Alright. So those are just little bitty chips that we have. Basically, if it lands on my ramp, I'm thinking it should be pretty close to that line. So now, now that we kind of have that with Skytrak, now let's kind of jump in and let's jump out of Skytrak and let's see if we can go in to GSPro and test it. Alright, so we're going to close out of Skytrak. Go ahead and launch GSPro. So GSPro is loading up here. Jump into GSPro area. Let me just make sure you connect it. And because I'm kind of coming right from Skytrak, just closing out Skytrak, I'll double check, you know, just the connection and stuff. Alright, so I'll just do one more little time here just to maybe make sure that we stay connected. We'll do a reconnect again. Alright. Sometimes jumping one from the other without going into Task Manager and other stuff. I like to do that. But now that I have this screen up, I'll show you also one of the things too is the restricted on the ball curvature. So this is kind of my setting. I'm also on realistic, so we'll see how that kind of plays in. But with the change of at least getting Skytrak more level in regards to the height and the distance away, I seem to have a lot better location correction in regard to chipping in GSPro. So now that we're in GSPro, let's do some of those same little chips and see how it kind of plays out. Hopefully going from Skytrak right to GSPro, I don't have to reset again. You can kind of see that one. You can see where the ball landed. And you can see how straight that was now in GSPro. So basically, after making those adjustments that I did and validating Skytrak being, again, the right location, and also the laser dot being 10.5 to 11.5 inches away from the laser, kind of angled from the laser point out, you can see now that my results are a lot better. Hit that one a little harder, but you can see the difference though of now with the setup, and you can see where that ball is landing right on my rim. So in essence, it definitely was a little bit of the Skytrak and setup being corrected. Whether one was, you know, a little off, you know, or more sensitive than the other. But now you can kind of see that it's a lot better and kind of what I expect. All right. Now, to kind of give you another example, and you'll see if it works on this, but how your club does make a difference. So right now I'm using my sand wedge. So I'm going to flip to an 8-iron. And I'm going to change the chip to an 8-iron. And you'll see sometimes you may get some weird number just by having the club, even though I'm just hitting little chips. But we'll see if I can do this. A couple times it was just weird where it's just expecting the 8-iron to do something else distance wise. You can kind of definitely see that one where, you know, it was chipped pretty straight, but how it kind of came off. So there may be something to, at least with the right club, but only difference I made is really switching the club. That one was pretty good, pretty straight. But I did get some weird little numbers here with this sometime. but that one was pretty good. That one should be pretty good. Maybe a little to the right, an inch. If it picked up, didn't even pick it up. But we'll do one more here and then we'll end this video. But in essence, with my change in setup is having the Skytrak set up correctly in regards to the right distance. That was a good example of it, reading something and being so sensitive now with this setup versus before, where I can almost swing the club around and make it do stuff like that. That just showed you now. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but now it is a lot more sensitive, and I can see how that may come into play, with the colored white shoes or whatever. Like in this example, I actually just have on my black socks, but it is a lot more sensitive now, being set up this way, where you can almost just swing your club around and get it to recognize something like that, And I didn't used to have that, but I'm not sure, because and I'll check in the Skytrak, and you can see that just by me swinging the 8-iron, not even hitting the ball, how it's kind of picking up, and I think that also plays into some of the small chips. Sometimes with the small chips or pitches, if you don't really get that club head out of the way after you hit, it may be reading that too, right? So it's like there's a little bit of that to be done, especially with this setup, to actually know how to kind of maybe at least get the club out of the way also. Because I can almost now, almost do that on demand now with, just swinging the club by the area and it thinking that I hit a ball. So, like that, right? Kind of throws off me because I like to do a little practice swing, which I didn't kind of have that. But I am going to check with Skytrak on that, just to see if that's normal or if I'm still maybe off in regards to, the height or something, just to kind of get it perfect, all right? Or at least as close as I can to that. So we'll end this with one more little 8-iron chip. And I guess in closing, after making a little bit of changes and etc., it seems to be pretty good. So again, thank you guys for watching, man. I hope it definitely helped out some of my other Skytrak guys, as we're loving the connection with GSPro and playing. But these little shots make a big difference, especially in your game and scoring, especially when you're playing around, knowing that you hit a great shot, but then it just, turns out bad, etc. So thanks again. Appreciate you guys again. Hey, don't forget, you like these videos, to, subscribe. Hey, give me a like, hit that bell, and we'll have more coming. Again, see you guys on the sim tour. Talk to you later. Thanks. Strok'en with Pipes.